This is video 4 in the series of the block design project. We're going to be dealing with the assembly file in this one. In the last video, we left off with the right triangle. If you notice now, we've been turning off the eye for the previous parts so we could have workspaces, our workspace clean. But we can now see all 5 of those parts that we've created, 6 if you've created your custom part, are now available to be seen. In the bottom right here, what you're going to notice is we have a part created studio, or our studio to draw, and we have our assembly. So I'm going to click over at the bottom now to our assembly. What you're going to notice is I can see some of the 3D tools that are familiar and some new ones as well. I'm going to click on my insert. What that does, it goes to my part studio and it shows me all the parts that I've created. I'm going to click on my block with a circle hole, and you're going to see it allows me to bring that into my workspace. So I'm going to left click on that to lay that part down. I can then come back to my list and I can say, okay, I have my plane cube here. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to left click and bring that into my studio. I'm going to hit my green check mark to get rid of the insert option. And what we're going to do in this is we are going to constrain or join our parts together. We're working in a 3-dimensional field, meaning we have an X, Y, and Z axis. And unlike the world we live in right now, this world doesn't have any rules. We have to set our constraints, which are what are known as our rules. We can see up here we have lots of different rules, something called a fastened mate, a revolve mate, a slider mate, a planar mate, a cylinder mate, and so on. So what we're basically going to do is put these pieces together according to the rules or the geometric rules that we set. And the first one that we're going to explore is what's called a fastened mate. What a fastened mate does, it allows you to take 2 parts and join them at 2 points and connect them so they can't move. So I'm going to click on my fastened mate, and you're going to see it brings up this menu over here, and it's going to say, what are you going to connect together? So as I come to my parts, you can see these points that are halfway points between my objects or the center. It can happen on any face. And what it's saying is, where do you want to connect it? If I choose the center point of this, we can see here in the menu, it shows that I've selected that. And if I want to come over to this block over here and rotate down, I can choose the bottom center point. I hit my green check mark to say, to solve that. And what you can see is I've joined those 2 blocks according to those rules. It automatically goes to the Fasten Mate tool again. We don't have another rule that we want to set, so we're just going to simply exit out of this. I'm going to come back to my insert, and I can start bringing in more parts. For an example, I'm going to bring in my right triangle. I'm going to left click into my workspace. I can hit my green check mark to exit out, and now I've brought another part into this. Now this part does not follow any of the rules. It just simply can be dragged around. If we notice, these parts are dragged together because they're now joined by that fastened mate rule. So I'm going to practice that fastened mate again. I'm going to click on the fastened mate, and this time I'm going to click on the center point here. I'm going to go to the bottom of my right triangle and find the center point. It'll preview the rule. Now I know this part should be attached, and it is, but it only shows you the 2 objects that you selected. Once I hit my green check mark to put that rule in place, you're going to notice that all of my parts are joined according to those geometric rules that I set.